When the world goes to war. A war is possibly the last thing anybody would want to live to experience. The world has already been a witness to several wars. As students, we have studied different wars and how the people during those times have lived. War times are definitely not good times. Recently, different parts in the world have gone to war. We see different war footages on television and notice how the number of casualties exponentially rises up. Although almost everybody realizes that there are no victors in wars, we can't seem to totally eliminate the prospect of having to go to war. Somebody famous once said, "If we want peace, we have to prepare for war." But as mere civilians, we don't have that much power to largely make a difference during war times. The most we could probably do is to prepare ourselves, if in case war breaks out suddenly. Just like in preparing for natural calamities, we need to stock as much food and water as possible. Equally important are pieces of cloth that we could use to cover our mouth and nose. And sunglasses for our eyes as protection against dust particles brought about by bombings and the like. On a larger scale, the government planning to involve in a war should have prepared emergency underground facilities. These facilities would contain grain silos and medical stockpiles. Civilians and injured soldiers are usually housed in one of these underground facilities. Large cities in the United States have several underground centers that they could use during war emergency situations. Examples of these are the underground facilities near major railroads. Aside from gun and ammo, the government should also equip themselves with machineries such as truck transportable bridges, mobile refineries, mobile decontamination services, and water purification systems. Other amenities such as petroleum supply are especially reserved for times of war. Of course, the government will have to organize effective cooperation between its different civil services. The police, healthcare service, fire service and other public utility providers are expected to work together to ensure that civilians get as much protection as possible. Sometimes, able bodies might be requested to undergo special training programs to help protect the rest of the civilians. War is such a large-scale event that as individuals and small communities, we could only do so much. Most of the preparations involved are left to the national government and international security institutions. As citizens, we will be left with no choice but to follow where the government leads us in times of war. Collective effort is very important for survival. Probably the most effective way of preparing for war is to disseminate information effectively and rapidly. Information on self-protection should be disseminated to the public. Concerned international authorities will also be able to benefit from information sharing. A large pool of information resources will be helpful for both parties, and would allow them to hopefully come into an agreement even before war could eventually break out. Because of high technology, which greatly affects how the world goes to war, preparing for war is getting more and more complicated. We already have nuclear, chemical and biological weapons which can wipe out a continent within a few minutes. High-walled palaces made of stone which used to protect early civilizations from war are not enough anymore with the severity of the damage which these weapons can cause. And this is all about how you can prepare for war. We hope you found this content useful. Share it if you think it might interest someone. Be happy.